over, and then you have also the property down on the Brevard and Volusia County line that could be folded into this. And then with this property over on the Osteen area, that's why we did we tried to protect that area by putting in the overlay zone for the Osteen-Deltona area to protect the Osteen area from the overdevelopment.
And again, you know, that's not our concern. Our concern is that the citizens weren't aware of this lawsuit. We feel that the transparency in this purchase wasn't there, especially with the climate, not only of our county, but of our country. Yeah. People don't trust our government, and unfortunately a lot of our elected officials, Mr. Bruno, and you know, in this type of climate, we citizens just want to know the facts. We don't want the stories. We don't want it glossed over. We want to know the facts. It appears that it was in the settlement of a lawsuit, number one. Number two, again, I don't believe you've answered my question. Why wasn't there proper funding for this over the years if you were going to plan on to purchase it?
Again, we have a forever program. We looked at that program. We utilized as much of that program as we could have there. And I need to correct you. I am here on this show to be factual and give you the information. Also, when you say that the public was not aware of the lawsuit, that's the furthest thing from the truth. It was in the papers, every paper in Volusia County and around the state of Florida, for that matter, on how we were.
When you voted on it?
For years, it's been in the paper that everybody knew that that lawsuit existed. So just because somebody doesn't know, that doesn't mean that it's not advertised, it's not public, it's been in public meetings, it's been in the media and everything else. A court ruled, you know, and people have the right to respond to a court ruling. You can appeal it. There's a lot of things you can do. We don't know. We don't know what the family's intentions were. How could we say that, oh, I'm going to put $40 million or $28 or $29 million set aside when we're trying to do everything possible to reduce taxes, keep our services going at a level that people require here in Volusia County? We don't have that opportunity to do those things. The only thing that we can do is try to plan for the future, try to be there if we have an opportunity. This was an opportunity that came to us for a lot of different reasons. Yes, it was on a list. I also want to mention to you that there's a lot of other properties on lists at the state level, at the St. Johns River Water Management District level, at the county level, and everything else. But you don't set aside the monies for those things until you have an opportunity, and then you weigh the situation to see if you're going to be able to come up with the money to actually buy it. We felt that this property was so important to Volusia County only because of the mandate from, as I had said earlier, because of the mandate of the St. Johns River Water Management to have an alternative source of water for Volusia County. That's what made this so critical at the last minute. And it's like a puzzle. And all the pieces of the puzzle just came together at that point. And we had to figure out what was the best way. We could have walked away from it, and I think that would have been wrong for the future of Volusia County.
Is it true, though, that the Forever program can no longer purchase property because all the money's used up?
Well, you got to remember, this was a 20-year plan. We purchased over 33,000 acres of land in Volusia County. With this, it's another almost 9,000 acres, or 5,000 acres in Volusia County. You know, I think we have a great track record of buying property. The people voted for projects such as this, environmental property with water resources. It just fit right into what the people voted for, and the people voted for this. I think it was 4-to-1 vote.
All right, let me ask you this, excuse me, but since it was a St. John's Water Management mandate for water, for additional water,
yes,
was there any state or federal money contributed to this purchase?
No, and that's a problem. The St. Johns River Water Management, any water management district can dictate what needs to be done within their jurisdiction. That came from the Florida legislature a year or two ago that gave that authority to the to the water authorities. And there's, by the way, there's 3 water authorities that represent the Central Florida area.
Can you explain to me what St. John Water Management seems to have a very big hammer to swing?
Oh, big, especially when you're talking about something as vital as water, and that controls your growth, it controls your quality of life, it controls everything for the future of your county.
Who controls them?
They're appointed by the governor. It's a board that's appointed by the governor of the state of Florida. Okay. It's a governing board appointed by the governor of the state of Florida.
Does that mean then that board, now that we're having a new governor, could be changed?
Well, I think that the new governor will come in. I'm not sure about how that is structured. Some have terms, and they have to wait for the terms to come up to be replaced. You know, I think that is how it works with the St. Johns River Water Management District. Some boards, probably the governor could come in and say, I want everybody's resignation, and I'll figure out if I want you back on there or not. So, but I think they have specific terms.
I like to approach this as a layman, from the layman's point of view, because I am one. And I like to make sure that the audience understands what we're talking about. And I've seen things where St. John's, the county has been wanting to do something, and they have to get permits from St. John's. It doesn't seem right to me. How many people are on the St. John's Water Management Board?
You know,
I think there's 5.
I appeared in front of them, I want to say 5 or 7.
Okay. And
we have a local representative. Miriam Giabi is our local representative on there, and we also had Herky Hoffman from the West Volusia area serving on there, and I think that seat is open right now, representing Volusia County on the St. Johns River Water Management District.
All right, well, this is a little off the beaten track, but it still addresses the water issue, which is part of the property purchase. If we are having such a difficult time with water, if we're in such a shortage of water, why did Volusia County and or adjoining county, Seminole County, approved the growth of the new Farmington? Is it
Farmington?
Farmington.
Yeah,
that's a humongous project with a whole new city.
But that's a whole other story from the Leffler property. But I will respond to you this way. That had nothing to do with our partners to the south. We have always, and at first I want you to know that St. Johns River Water Management District gave us a indication that they wanted Volusia County to work with Seminole County on their project there and take the water out of the St. Johns River to subsidize our water here in Volusia County. The people were very upset about that. And also, it wasn't the right thing to do. It would have been too costly. Now, getting to Farmington.
Yeah.
Farmington is a 50-year plan. That is a significant project that goes from Volusia County into Brevard County. Part of that project is a presentation and a delivery of 70,000 acres to Volusia County, and they couldn't develop any piece of that property. The gift of the property goes to the county immediately. They can't develop any of that property until they have the water resources available down in that area, and they're looking at their property for those water resources. And until they have the commerce and to pay for these things and the infrastructure, no development's going to take place. So it's over a 50-year period of time. It's not going to happen probably in, you know, maybe a portion of it, maybe in our lifetimes.
We're talking about Farmington. I have 2 questions for you. Wasn't the state of Florida, didn't they weren't they against the development of Farmington? Didn't they come down?
DCA.
Yes.
And DCA, of course, is under review right now by the state, and there may not be a DCA in the future according to the new governor. They may collapse that all into a whole different
Right.
agency. You know, they're environmentalists. They are looking to make any project even better. So they did their job as far as I'm concerned. We all want, if there's going to be a development down there, even over 50 years, and we should plan for 50 years in the future, because we haven't been doing a good job planning for 50 years in the future. Now it gives us an opportunity to plan for that area. And again, there's certain conditions that they need to do in order to develop that area. It is so important that everybody understands that nothing is going to get done down there, and it's not going to take away from our water supply. They've got to be able to provide their own water for the development down in that area in the future.
And how many homes?
DCA was doing their job and due diligence to make sure that that anything that is going on down there has got to be environmentally protected, and we all want that.
Yeah, because I believe that was their finding, that it would endanger habitat, there'd be water problems, and it was too big of a development for that particular area. And it's how many homes is it?
Well, we don't know what's going to be allowed in the future, but it's 25,000
Right.
homes as it appears on the plan today.
And
whether they could do that or not,
I'm going to play layman again. Excuse me, I'm going to play layman again. Because every time we have elected officials talking, we have DCA, ABC, CE,
Department of Community Affairs.
There you go, for the audience, it's the Department of Community Affairs.
Thank you for...
Now, with regard to the comp plan and Farmington.
Yes.
Okay, can we build any more homes in the county? Because it's basically used up all of the homes.
Again, we're getting off the Leffler discussion
Right.
here.
Right.
However, yes, we'll be able to. I know you're in real estate, and we want to protect real estate. I have a lot of friends in real estate. My dad was a broker in the real estate business here in Volusia County for many years. He was on planning boards. You know, I've been on planning boards. I've been a town council member. I've been on the county council for 19 years, 10 years as a district representative. At the end of my term will be 10 years as chairman. We want to plan for the future. We want to be able to have sustainable growth in the future, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
All right, I want to interrupt you guys right now, if I may. Excuse me.
Yes?
We only have a half hour to do this show, and this is a subject that's not going to be settled, where all the answers come out in 1/2 hour. We're coming to the end of our first half hour.
Wow,
So
time goes fast.
Time goes fast. So we're going to stop for now, and we will continue shortly with the second half hour for the next show, which will air 1 week from this show. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll come back. And so if you're watching now, come back and see the final half hour of this show, where get some more answers from Mr. Chairman Bruno and from Margie Patchett. For now, we're going to sign off, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.